Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camper Report show, I am going to Carolina Pines Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But, Bob, here's the twist. I'm going off season. I want to show you what they have off season. How about
Yeah,
you?
fantastic. Got a good interview with Ray Schultz from Liquid Rubber up in Canada. Some interesting products, roofing products for the do-it-yourselfer,
Wow.
which is not you and me.
No, it's not you and me. I ain't getting up on no roof
Right.
by any means. So we've got those two great stories plus all the news. Where do we get our news from?
From RV Business and Woodall's Campground Magazine
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back with more right here. Where, Bob?
on the Camper Report Show.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Camp Report Show. My name is John DePietro. His name is Bob Zagami. This is our news section. And Bob, there's a lot of innovative news going on and some interesting and some good feeling news as well, because our friends at Nexus, and you've known Claude and Dave for even before they started Nexus, they got a great recognition from the Elkhart Chamber of Commerce. Talk a little bit about that reward.
Yeah,
Award.
they were just recognized as the 2022 Business of the Year in the Elkhart County area. And that's significant, seeing that about 85% of the RVs made in the United States come out of that particular area. But Dave and Claude actually started the company back in 2010 at the height of the recession.
Yep.
And went factory direct, no dealers, and sold direct and built the company from there, eventually moving into a dealer network. But in the face of all opposition and all common sense, if you will, they said they threw their fate to the wind. They had a plan and they stuck with it. And they've been duly recognized by the folks out there. And if they make, privately held company in a day when a lot of companies are going to major corporations and consolidating into mega dealers. They make only motorhomes and primarily Bs, B plus, and Cs, and also Super Cs. They actually have more Super Cs in their lineup than any other RV manufacturer on the road today.
Yep, they were kind of the innovator in that Super C category. I know when we visited that dealership, that manufacturing facility on many occasions, you saw that Super C and you said, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they do a great job,
Yep.
and they have a good loyal following and a good dealer network all across the country. So,
Yep.
congratulations to Claude and Dave Middleton on such a great award.
It's nice to see them remembering their roots and giving back to the community, which was one of the major considerations in receiving this award from the chamber. Now, moving right along, on a totally different note, Airstream and Porsche have come out with something that is, well, it's not for today. It's a prototype for tomorrow. That look is dynamic, and I want to hear more from you on that.
Yeah, it's aerodynamic. It's a concept vehicle, and sometimes concept vehicles don't make it to the marketplace, but that's not the main purpose. The main purpose was to see, with a fresh set of eyes from Porsche and new designers at Airstream, what could they come up with the traditional blank sheet of paper in terms of what the future customers, and how can they expand the base of Airstream followers.
Bob, let
Well,
me stop you. Let me stop you for 1 second, because you said a very important phrase that I don't even think you know what you said. You said, you said for the future customers. Now, that is an amazing phrase, because you and I both realize, and everyone is realizing more and more each day, that the future customer may not be the past customer or even the present customer, because newer people from demographics and socioeconomic situations that have never even considered RVing now consider RVing cool.
Yep,
right?
And you're right, John. And it's interesting because part of the concept in this particular vehicle was keeping in mind the growth, the future growth and dynamic it will be once it really takes hold of electric vehicle. So that was a primary function. How is it going to tow? How is it going to ride? The benefits, the energy systems that are on the vehicle, something as simple as being able to park it in your garage. It's not often that you think of an RV and parking it in your garage because they're too big. But this one, you can actually lower the suspension system, and it's got a roof that raises up after you get to the campground. So that combination makes a much smaller footprint for this particular vehicle. So it's an improving process for them. And I thought the other thing that caught my eye, and we'll talk about it in the next story also, is this vehicle was being exhibited last weekend at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas.
And that's not an RV show.
No, it's
that
a music
ain't
show.
an RV show.
It was a music show
Right.
in a music venue.
Right. Yeah.
But two RVs, this one and the next one that we'll talk about, were being exhibited at that show. So when we talk about future customers and new customers coming in, that's not a place that you would go and expect to see RVs, but they're going to explain RVs. They're going to explain the new technology. They're going to explain it to an entirely different customer base that we might see in the future.
And my guess is that if they premiered that product at Hershey or at Tampa or at Boston, the traditional RV buyer might look at it and say, oh, that's not what I want because it's not what I have. And interestingly, what I have is probably not what the future customer wants. So they've really changed the marketing.
Yeah, I think it's a very bold move by Bob Wheeler, the president, and the Airstream team, because it is entirely possible that even the existing Airstream customer might not like this design. Because the other design has been out there for
so long,
decades and decades, but they're purists and they haven't had a significant design change. And this one keeps a lot of the same elements, but this is not your father's Airstream.
By any
means. It's not intended to be. Not your mother's Airstream. Not your mother's Airstream either.
Right. We will keep you up to date on this because we're going to put a lot of pictures down here as we speak anyway. But also move on to our next topic. Lightship is a brand new brand, and it is founded by some Tesla people. Okay. Now, the big thing with electrifying the RV industry is the range and the aerodynamics of the existing stock is just not there yet. Okay. No, everyone will agree that even if you have the best Ford Lightning truck or Rivian truck, pulling a traditional trailer like you have right behind you, a travel trailer, the drag on that tow vehicle is going to be detrimental to the range that you're going to have. Talk about Lightship and why this is different.
Well, this one I really like because one of the things about the RV industry, we go through peaks and valleys. We have great years, we have bad years, we go through peaks and valleys. And in those depths of the valley or the height of the industry, new people arrive on the scene with new ideas. That's been the legacy of the RV industry going back over 100 years. Somebody's going to come up with something different. This is completely different, and it didn't come out of Elkhart, and it didn't come out of Goshen, and it didn't come from experienced RV manufacturing or engineering people. It came out of Tesla. They're not having any trouble raising money. And in their words, it's a battery-powered travel trailer, and it's first purpose-built travel trailer with a self-propulsion system that enables, to your point, near zero range or mile per gallon efficiency loss for the vehicle towing it. So if you get 25 miles a gallon now, and you put this on your bumper, you're going to get 25 miles a gallon still. If you get 300 miles in a new electric tow pickup truck, and you put this on that vehicle, you're going to get 300 miles range. And right now that can drop by 50% with a traditional travel trailer. But they have raised significant money. And to their point, one of every 10 American families own an RV. but the RV industry hasn't experienced innovation for decades. And that's, they tend to do the things that work on this. So bringing these people in from outside the industry, number one, it's going to present a challenging new product, but it's also going to challenge the existing manufacturers. And here we just saw it with the Airstream story that's been out there for hundreds of years. Well, Airstream is keeping up with the pack, and they are, in fact, innovating new products.
Well, let's talk about that word innovation for a second, though, because I think everyone would agree that the innovation in the last 10 years in the RV, travel trailer, and motorized industry has really been inside the unit, but not with the outside appearance of it, because even some of the brand new brands that are coming out that we experienced down in Tampa, outside, they kind of look similar. It's really inside that the difference really lies. But this one is going to be totally different because it's going to be looking different and acting different and feeling different and used by a different audience, different all around.
And it's right in the price range. It's not exorbitant. It's going to come out at $118,000 to $125,000, and we've got fifth wheels going up over $200,000 now. We got motorhomes up at $850,000. But the team that put this together, as you said, they come out of Tesla, but they also have people from companies that many RVers have never heard of before. Companies called Rivian, Proterra, Lucid, and Zoox, in addition to the Tesla people.
Which are all electric vehicle people.
Right. They're all engineering new technologies, highly efficient vehicles that are going to challenge the status quo in the RV industry. And here again, it was exhibited this past weekend at South by Southwest. So it's going to be interesting to see how
that came out.
The automotive publications and how the RV publications cover those exhibits at South by Southwest. I find that truly unique and amazing, considering the history of South by Southwest as a major music venue in a major music city as Austin, Texas.
I think Rick Kessler wanted to go down there last week. He said it was for RVs, but I think he just wanted to groove to the Grateful Dead and a few other bands that have played there at one time or another. But, the interesting thing is this electric vehicle topic is so hot right now. We should have these people on directly for a conversation, and maybe bring Mike Sokol on too to talk about the two aspects of electrification of the RV industry.
Yeah, we are reaching out to both Airstream and to Lightship, and bringing this information to our fans on both of our shows.
So folks, if you have a question, just type it down below in the comments section right here, and we'll do our best to respond to it and see if we can bring on some of these innovative people so that you can hear directly from them. So that just about does it for the news segment here. And we get all our news from our friends. Where about?
RV Business and Woodall's Campground Magazine, Rick Kessler and Ben Quiggle.
So stay with us here in the Camper Report Show. And by the way, if you like the show, hit the like button. And if you think others should hear more about it, send it along to them and tell them to subscribe as well. We'd sure appreciate it. Right here, where about?
On the Camper Report Show. All right, welcome back to the Camper Report Show, everybody. And my guest today is Ray Schultz from Liquid Rubber. Ray, welcome to the show. I understand you're up there in Canada.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And we got the sun shining and the snow melting, so it's a good day up here in Canada.
Got a little bit of snow this year?
Oh, more than a little bit.
Well, look, we're going to talk about RVs and some of your products for the RVs. And tell us a little bit about the company, though. Maybe folks haven't heard about Liquid Rubber. How long you've been out there and what do you do?
Yeah, liquid rubber's been around for a long, long time, actually. It's coming on 25 years here, but we were more focused on commercial industrial applications for many years where we would deal with big roofs, big, mining operations, things like that. And we just got so much demand for the everyday person who wanted to use our products for their own applications around their house or for their RVs. And about 7 years ago, we started to really make a new offering for the everyday person.
That's interesting. How did you happen to hit upon RVs? In the product, I've looked at the website, I've seen some of the literature. Certainly seems to be a very good product for RVs, but how did you pick RVs?
Yeah, it was one of the things we kind of targeted. We had these great roof coatings to begin with, and we knew that RV market was a pretty big share out there. And also for myself, I kind of pushed it because I'm an RV owner. I have a motorhome too, and I didn't know when I first got into it that these RV roofs need a lot of love along the way.
That's well, it's one of the things that it's very interesting for RVers. One of the issues that I see out there, and I've been RVing for 40 years, is that a lot of the RVers haven't been trained the right way on preventive maintenance of their vehicles. They get so wrapped up in enjoying the RV lifestyle, and the dealers get wrapped up selling these things. But there's personal responsibility and things that people should do on preventive maintenance, the most important of which is the roof. So explain to us the pitfalls that lead to a client coming to liquid rubber for their solution. But what should, and you're an experienced RVer, what should they be doing before they even know what your company does?
Yeah, like it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. You don't think about that roof very much. I know I didn't, and I got myself in trouble too. I had leaks in my roof, old motorhome I bought, and didn't really think about it. But yeah, I think if you could stress anything to anyone who's buying an RV or getting into it is get on that roof before you buy it or after you buy it. Check it out because that's where the problems are going to start. And you don't want to have that interior ruined by some leaks that you get up there. But you want to get up there beginning of the year after you stored it for the winter. Get up there before you store it for the winter at least twice a year you got to get up there and usually there's just little fixes that you need to do and that's going to take you a long way, but if you let it go too long you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, when I talk to our dealers, and I know many RVers, many of the problems, I'd say probably half the problems that RVers have with their roof are self-inflicted, that they just didn't know or they didn't do it. Maybe they knew and they still didn't do it and get up there. And if you're not the type that likes to jump up on the roof and do all that work, then you take it to a dealer and you have some inspections done and you make sure that you don't have leaks before or after you end the season, that you didn't get any tears in your membranes from a tree branch that may have come down, things like that. So recognizing that RVers do understand that they need to do preventive maintenance, how do you approach it with the customer when you're explaining how this product works and why it's of value to RVers?
Yeah, we've got a great tech support team. They've been around a long time in the contracting world and the service world, so they really understand what can be done, what might not need to be done, so they can walk anybody through the whole process. We have application guidelines on our site. We've got videos and pictures and that. I think people get a little scared that it's a big process, but it's actually pretty simple. If you know what to look for and you follow the steps, you're going to be okay. Really, the way I say it is, if you can paint, you can pretty much apply these products, and you're going to be just fine. And if you do make a mistake, you can always apply a little bit more, fix it up too. It's not going to be the end of the world.
I was very impressed with the materials on the website, and because I'm not a do-it-yourselfer. I mean, I don't, I turn the key and drive them and don't do anything else. So I need a good dealer. But it was the walkthrough was impressive, but also that roof coating application guide. So before somebody even gets in touch with you, they have a tremendous amount of information. And I think from what I've seen, it looks like it instills a lot of confidence in the prospect to certainly go further and call you up and find out more about it. And that brings me to the other end of this. Unlike a lot of companies that mass market the product, you sell products directly to the consumer, correct?
Yeah, we want to be in touch with the customer and we want the customer to be in touch with us because there's always questions that come up. And, some people like to call, some people want to read it on the website. We want to try to give everybody what they want out there. And if they have an option to talk to us directly, they're going to feel more comfortable that we stand behind our products, that we're going to help them. If there's ever an issue that comes up, they can contact us. So we didn't want to have like a store in between us where the message can get lost a lot of times. So they can talk direct to the people who make the product.
Was that always I love, first of all, I love that marketing approach and that philosophy, because in today's world where people come and people go and companies come and go, and you put multiple levels between the consumer and the producer of the product, that it can get very frustrating sometimes. So did you evolve into that, or was that always from day one for the company?
Yeah, it definitely evolved. And as we got in more to the DIY market, we just saw the need. People wanted to have that contact. And I agree, the frustration about trying to talk to somebody or ask a question, it's a nightmare out there. And we realize that if we can provide that, we're gonna be a step ahead of everyone else.
I would imagine the customers like it. And we the reality of today's business world is that with what the pandemic did to us and what it did to workforces, we have a lot of people that don't have the loyalty to the company that they should have. They don't understand the products and services. So when people find companies that are responsive to their initial questions, but the follow-up support, I think in the long run, they would rather have that type of relationship because they do have a close affinity with the people that do make the product, and the people that they're talking to are sitting there. So the approach is very unique.
And it's a relationship. You're exactly right. And that's what we're trying to establish. And it's a long-term relationship. A lot of the people, they own several different RVs through their life, and we want them to feel comfortable that our products are going to work for them and we're going to help them along the way. I think, something we hear over and over again is somebody buys a tube of caulking here and a roll of tape here and this and that, and they're not compatible, and people just don't know. They don't have anybody to talk to. Can I use this product with that product? And we get those questions like, oh, we wish we could have told you sooner, but no, you don't want to do that. Here's some solutions you can do after the fact. But yeah, people just, the education's very poor out there when people are buying, a bunch of random products for their roof.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you do? We were talking off camera there, but I know you actually go into quite a discussion on the initial approach that you have with customers. Sometimes the RVs, I won't say they're beyond repair, but they're beyond what the do-it-yourselfer should be doing. There may be internal damage. So walk through that process and the fact how you actually extend the education to a point where you may not recommend your products to the customer.
Yeah, it's not a magical product that can solve every situation, and we don't want to give that impression either. But yeah, we get people, they'll send us pictures and they say, "This is my roof. What do you think? Is there any options here?" And there's rot, and they need to replace wood, and we just we really tell them sometimes these roofs are just not at a point where a coating is going to work for you, and you need to look at a full roof replacement. So we're just happy that we can get people the answers they need, because they don't really know what they can do. And a lot of times the coding is going to work for them, but it just gets to a point where you don't want to do that. You're just asking for more trouble if you try to do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you, because you do deal directly with the consumers, do you have any type of a referral program if customers who have been successful with your installation and appreciate the service? Is there any type of consumer program for them?
Yeah, we've got a loyalty and rewards program. So after people purchase, they can earn rewards to use on other purchases. We have a lot of different applications when it comes to decks, foundations, basements, driveways, a bunch of different things like that. And then there's also a referral program where they can earn dollars for every person that they refer to.
Okay, now the product themselves, a lot of them are in 5-gallon pails, and these are shipped directly from the factory to the consumer. Explain the shipping process for them.
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple now. We store product all throughout North America and the UK now too, and they're in different fulfillment centers. So in the US, we're spread out across the country, and the order comes into us, and it gets sent directly to the fulfillment center, and they'll pick which one is closest to the customer, and they'll ship it out. So generally, we find the customer can get it in 3 to 5 days.
Interesting. Super. Our guest today is Ray Schultz from Liquid Rubber. Ray, is there anything I've left out? It seems like a very practical product, and a lot of RVers do like to do the stuff themselves. They do their own maintenance, and they do their own preventive maintenance. Anything else that they should know about your company?
Yeah, like I think what I try to stress the most is just reach out, email us, call us, ask those questions. Don't feel like you're on your own, having to figure it out yourself. Use us. That's what we're here for. We've got great tech support, and really, it's something that somebody can knock off in a weekend. It's a pretty simple process, and we want to make it as easy for them as possible, and we're here for them. So use us, please.
All right. And we will put the URLs and the other information after we post-process the video. Ray, thank you very much for joining us today. Best of luck with the product, and thanks very much for coming on the Camper Report Show.
Thanks so much, Bob.
Mike here from RV Blogger. Don't waste hundreds of dollars on an external GPS for your RV. All you need to do is download the RV Life app right onto your phone. This app is so cool. It has RV GPS built right into it. So you can load all the specific measurements and weights for your RV. It'll give you directions safe for your RV to follow. And by the way, if you have RV Trip Wizard, directions for your trips upload into this GPS automatically.
Hey everybody, it's John DePietro. We are at beautiful Carolina Pines. We are in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And the coolest part about being in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in February is that you can actually camp.
Absolutely.
In Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely, you can.
And Isaac, tell us a little bit about the Sun Outdoors Carolina Pines property here. It's pretty fascinating.
So here we got 834 sites, about 164 of those are annual sites, which are just guests that camp here year-round. We have 121 cottages on site as well, and that's basically where you would come if you want to camp here year-round. We got water parks, pools, heated pools that are open year-round, playgrounds for the kids, activities going on all year, golf carts, cabanas, the whole 9 yards. Anything that you need, we got here on property, as well as a restaurant, general store, and we've got an approved vendors list as well if you ever need work done on your camper or on your tiny house that you own.
You're saying campers break down every once in a while?
A little bit, sometimes.
So Isaac, in reality, once you come through the doors and do this beautiful welcome center, you don't really have to leave.
No, not at all. We got, like I said, we got the restaurant on site. That's a big attraction for a lot of people. It's a big thing that we had early on with people coming and saying, hey, any restaurants that are local, and we just refer them right back down there.
Right.
So it's amazing food down there.
Yep, it absolutely is. But what we want to talk about today is the capability to really camp without a camper, because those guest cottages, which we happen to be staying in right now, really kind of offer something for everyone with a wide variety of floor plans and capacities, et cetera. Tell us a little bit about those and how people can access them.
Yeah. So we have a few different models. They're all 399 square feet, so you're getting about the same amount of living space. But a few different models for 2 bedrooms. We have one with an upper deck outside, so you can sit up there and there's a nice day out.
Get burnt.
Get burned if you need to. There's plenty of everything in there comes fully equipped. So you're going to have your stove, oven, microwave, paper towels, garbage bags, linens, bed, pull-out bed if you need to for sleeping arrangements.
Corkscrew.
Corkscrew if you need it. They come fully equipped, so you shouldn't need to bring anything of your own unless you want to.
Yeah, exactly. And it appears that you've got people looking at the license plates. They're coming from all over the place to be here at Carolina Pines.
Absolutely. It's beautiful weather this time of year. I think last week it was about 75 degrees, and I can't beat that coming from in the north. The snow is not something that anyone really wants to be a part of, so you can't beat it down here.
As far as activities for kids are concerned, I saw there's bowling alleys, there's arcades, there is a wide variety of pools and lazy river, etc. What do you find that returning guests talk about the most? In other words, what's the reason that they came back?
I think a lot of it has to do with the customer service. If you go around, we have team members everywhere. You can ask them anything; they will know what's going on. And I think as far as the kids' activities, you're looking at the arcade and the bowling alley are probably two of your top ones there. And then we also have a whole activities team that puts together things such as kids club, karaoke, bingo, stuff like that. So it just keeps on wanting to come back, and it gives them something to do at night.
No, several of those services aren't available in the dead of the winter, which we're in right now, but there's really, we've seen kids on their bikes. The cars are coming in, the trailers are coming in with the bike racks on the back. Some of them still have salt on them from the roads coming from up north. But the people next to us, we're from New York, they got the bikes off the car, and the kids were gone in a couple minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could drive around here at any point during the day and you'll see a ton of kids having fun on their bikes or their scooters, and most of them are grouping up in groups and hanging out with each other, which is really cool to see that you have people from all different types of the country grouping up together and just hanging out at the sports courts or going to the arcade or something like that.
Basketball court. And they play everything on the basketball court, not just basketball.
Yep, and there's also the turf field over there, so they can do kickball or bring a football and throw it around, or really whatever they want to do. It's kind of an open range for them to do whatever they want to do here.
So for those folks that do want to get off, as I call it, off campus, you've got shuttle service?
We do have shuttle service. So it goes to and from like local attractions. So you'll get Broadway at the beach, or it'll take them down to Wonderworks, something like that. We also do day trips to Calabash sometimes. Downtown Conway, it's a cool little historic town. So, I mean, it's just a schedule thing. Whatever's going that day, we'll take them back and forth too.
Great, yeah, because we've seen that, and really once you get back into Myrtle proper, Route 17, there's virtually everything you could want.
Anything you can
vacation
think of.
land.
Absolutely.
With shows, performing shows, touring artists, and that type of thing.
Another thing that we also offer that a lot of people don't know is we offer tickets to the Carolina Opry as well as Wonderworks and stuff like that. So if they want to go to those places,
buy them right here.
They can come right up here and purchase them from us, and then just
go right to the show.
Go right on down.
Go right to the show. So we want to thank you so much. We are enjoying our winter vacation in warm weather. We get to sit. We're in one of those units that has the outside TV and the outside fireplace.
Yep.
I've never seen those before.
Those are
pretty cool.
Those are hot. A lot of people like those, just especially in the wintertime, because you can go out there, put on the fireplace, and you're not too cold or not too hot, and still be.
Yeah. Well, it's one of our favorite stops on the Sun Outdoors tour, and we want to thank you so much for taking time from your busy day to speak with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, John.
Sun Outdoors, Carolina Pines. We're here. Come join us.
Absolutely. Thank you.